Hey everyone, I'm here to talk about something a little different, although it still falls under relationships. I'm a big believer that the work that we need to do in our life, in ourselves, the work that we want to, when we are done with this life and we say, how did we do? How did I do? Did I do all that I wanted? I believe it's going to come down to relationships. And that's all that businesses are. That's all that business is. It's relationships coming together and living in a container is what I call it. Sorry about my nails. I'm working on this. I'm not perfect. So let me explain to you in the simplest terms what a business does, what a prospect is expected to do or know, and how it all comes together. So let me just show you this. So we've got a company over here. We've got a prospect over here. That is all your business is. Your business is you, your solutions, your services, your resources, your materials, your products. What are those things that can solve the prospect's problems? My marriage is not good. My parenting is really challenging. My referrals are low. My turnover is high in my business if you're working with other businesses. I can't lose the weight. I'm ruminating all the time. All these types of problems. So this is so awesome that we have companies going around with solutions to solve prospects' problems. So I'm a CEO and founder now of my own business. So this is me. And I've worked for a number of these, big and small. So this has been me. This is probably you. And I'm also a prospect. I have a lot of problems. I bet it's a lot like you. So this is why I love business, because it's for everybody. Now, here's the thing. We're not AI. We're not robots. We're not technology. So we don't just simply say, hello, here's my problem. Can you solve it? And the company does not say, yes, here are my solutions and I can solve your problems. Although, interestingly enough, this sort of sounds like what a company sounds like sometimes when they're just listing off their features and their benefits. We reduce your pain points. We make the migration simple. We give you holistic wealth planning. What? I'm a person. I don't know what you're saying. But I do it too. We get stuck in this other language. We speak in a different language, and therefore there's a whole bunch of problems that are not getting solved, and there's a whole bunch of solutions that are not getting purchased. But let's just break it down to the molecular level. Companies are just full of words, full of tone, emotion, and full of behaviors. Prospects, full of the same thing, words, tone, and behavior. Together, they come into reaction, into a relationship, which I just call in a container. This is all contained. And within that container, decisions are made, whether I'm going to solve my problem or whether you're going to have my solution. So when we think about this, if we're getting suboptimal outcomes, as in, man, growth is pretty low, or I haven't been on a date in a year, or my children hit me or yell shut up to me and I'm yelling too, or my clients aren't using all of my services, or my clients are working with multiple providers. These are all outcomes that are bad. We don't want any of these outcomes in our life. So there's something wrong with a relationship somewhere, and in many cases, many, many, many relationships. When these relationships are not working, prospects are not returning your calls, prospects are not buying your product, right? Or prospects saying my problems are not being solved. These are outcomes that need to be evaluated. And what's so great about this is all you need to evaluate. This is it. This is it right here. The words you're using, the tone you are eliciting, your emotions, what's coming out in your voice, and your behaviors. What are you typing in the email? What does your facial expression look like? Are you moving towards or away from someone when they have a problem? This is all you need to think about when you have problems. But we don't want to do that sometimes. We don't want to do that because we're tired. We're tired of these problems. So we want to rush through the solutions, which ultimately keeps us stuck in our problems and makes the problems bigger and bigger. We don't want to do this because this is weird. What is this, like hocus pocus? I mean, words and tone and behavior. It is like soft, weird stuff that I'm not interested in. It's no longer soft skills. These are hard skills. This is what McKinsey, the largest consulting company globally, their CEO is saying, yeah, we actually want soft skills. We want people who understand this stuff. So you can just jump right in. No one's going to make fun of you. You are like cutting edge. And people also don't want to spend time on this because it's really complex, because it does actually come down to what our words are. Yeah, it actually, saying no problem is a problem. Saying no problem is now all of a sudden introducing a problem into the mix. And if, again, we're not computers, so we're not like, thank you so much for giving that to me. It was my pleasure to give it to you. No, we are people that are a little nervous, that are a little self-conscious, that are a little insecure. No matter how good of a situation it is, it's never that good. And so when you say no problem, you have no idea how that's going to land, how those words are going to land inside somebody. And I really should put thoughts on here. I'm probably going to add thoughts. Yeah, I'm probably going to add thoughts to this. Sorry. You're seeing me so early, really. And in 2 years' time, I expect to be different. So you have all these things that your words, whoa, how are my words going to react to their words? Problem. Well, problem is not a good word in this person's head. What are the thoughts? What thought patterns do they have around this word? Then the tone. What kind of emotion are they feeling in that moment? If it's insecure and now you say problem, they're saying, oh God, is that a problem? Oh, is that a problem again? Their behavior when you say the word problem, they might release their handshake. They might get jolted. And here's another problem with us not wanting to spend time on this, is because we think, what's the big deal? Yeah, I say no problem. Yeah, sometimes I don't send a follow-up. Yeah, sometimes I yell at my kids. What's the big deal? You don't think there's a big deal, but each of those is a paper cut. Each of those is a leaf. Each of those makes a dent in the relationship. And I am here to tell you that there is not one relationship in this entire world that can survive dent after dent after dent after dent. It's going to look bad. It's going to feel bad. You're not even going to want to talk about it because it's just that dent. It's like that house you drive by that has been clearly abandoned. Can't we just get rid of it? I don't want to look at it anymore. So that's what happens. We don't look at the problems anymore. We don't want to look at it. So instead, we ignore it, and what happens? It becomes a chronic problem. You don't care that you haven't dated your spouse in 2 years because things are fine. You're not divorcing. Not yet. You're not really screaming at each other. No, not all the time. Maybe you are to other people about your spouse. These are chronic problems that we simply say are okay. We excuse them and we keep moving on. However, it's the only thing that impacts an outcome. And the thing is, you can start saying my pleasure instead of no problem in every single one of your prospect calls, in every single conversation with your spouse, out in your community, and you will make 0.1% change. That's all it is. You're going to keep on adding that up. It's going to compound. It's going to multiply. It's going to be huge. In 10 years, you're going to be a completely transformed person. You can listen to me. You can listen to Jeff Bezos and Warren Buffett, two of the richest people in the world, where they say that all transformational change happens on a 7 to 10 year period, because that's how long it takes to be really bored. Like, nobody can last that long being bored, changing their words and their tone and their behavior and studying themselves. You will be the most enlightened person on this planet. And then what follows? All other success follows when you can do this. 10 years time. You got to start today. And you have to make 0.01% change over and over and over and over and over again. 10,000 times. That's where the 10,000 rule comes from, apparently. Well, I don't know. We don't know. Even the people that use it don't really know exactly. All I know is change happens on a multiple of 10. 100,000, million, 10,000, whatever it is. But you got to start. And this is where you start. Your words, your tone, and your behavior. And then you're going to show yourself you can do anything. You can start a business. It's the only way you're going to jump echelons. It is. I mean, unless you get very, very lucky and you are a top 0.1% employee at a Fortune 500 company, Fortune 100 company. I was a top 1%er. And it was good, but it doesn't change your echelon. I mean, even UBS has studied this. God, here I am. I couldn't just end where I wanted to. I had to keep adding all this filler to show that I'm valuable and smart. I'm working on this too. It's words, tone, and behavior. So you can do anything. You can start a company when you understand how this works. Thanks for joining.